Welcome to Mr. Chalk's Revision Tips. In this video we will look at diffusion, passive diffusion and facilitated diffusion. So particles in a liquid or a gas move continuously. Because of this movement they will spread themselves evenly throughout a liquid or a gas. So we're going to have a look at some of the factors affecting diffusion, what simple diffusion is, and what facilitated diffusion is. So diffusion, like we've just said, is the movement of molecules from an area of high concentration to an area of lower concentration. In the cell, this can occur when small molecules diffuse through a pore of a cell membrane or when substance masses move around inside of the systole. Diffusion occurs when the concentration of a particular molecule is greater in one area than another, establishing a concentration gradient. The diffusion of molecules across a concentration gradient does not require a transport protein and is an example of passive transport. During diffusion, molecules move from a high to a low concentration until the concentrations are equal between these spaces. So simple diffusion is the process by which solutions or solutes move or are moved along a concentration gradient in a solution or across a semi-permeable membrane. Several factors affect the rate of diffusion of a solute, including the mass of the solute, temperature of the environment, and the solvent density. So the stronger the concentration gradient, the faster the diffusion will occur. While diffusion will go forward in the presence of a concentration gradient of a substance, several factors will affect the rate of diffusion. So these might include the extent of the concentration gradient, the greater the difference in concentration, the more rapid the diffusion will take place. So if the medium is less dense, then diffusion will also be increased. High temperatures increase the energy and therefore the movement of molecules, increasing the rate of diffusion. Lower temperatures decrease the energy of the molecules, thus decreasing the rate of diffusion. Facilitated diffusion is the process of spontaneous passive transport of molecules or ions across a biological membrane via a specific pore or membrane protein. Facilitated diffusion describes the process of passive transport of molecules across the membrane via transmembrane proteins. However, facilitated diffusion is still an example of passive transport as it does not require any energy to be expended. Facilitated diffusion usually occurs when a molecule cannot pass through the plasma membrane because it has the wrong polarity or it may well be too large. Proteins that aid in facilitated diffusion shield these molecules from the hydrophobic core of the membrane. So the structure of the bilipid membrane allows small uncharged substances such as oxygen and carbon dioxide and hydrophobic molecules such as lipids to pass through the cell membrane down their concentration gradient by simple diffusion. For nutrients to diffuse into a cell, they must traverse the cell membrane. Cell membranes are extremely thin to allow for the diffusion of materials across the cell membrane. The larger the area over which the diffusion can occur, the greater the rate of diffusion. Cells with ciliated surfaces are adapted to increase their surface area in order to increase the rate of diffusion.
Thanks for watching.